These things really worked, and I was able to achieve the goals that I set forth and keep my New Year's resolution. What's going on, my fellow workaholics? I know that y'all are about to completely dominate 2020, so I'm glad you wanted to sit down with me real quick and talk about a few things that's going to help you take over for the 2020, okay? Now, we're going to do this as a quick countdown. So, number 5, set goals that are realistic. Okay, if you say something like, I want to make $1 million this year, who says that's not realistic? You can make $1 million this year, but you can't just say it. So what you're going to do is set goals that make sense to what you have going on. Like, track your money quarterly. How much do you have coming in? How much do you have going out? Things like that. Actually break everything down and make it make sense in your head so that it's easy for you to follow. Because I know sometimes we can watch videos and motivational speakers and business conferences or podcasts, and sometimes all that stuff that they're saying and all those numbers, they get in our heads and we're not sure if we can do it. But all you got to do is just take your time, write it down, make it make sense to you, and set goals that are realistic to you, and you will completely dominate it. Okay. Number 4, reward discipline. Okay, I'm not saying every time you get up in the morning when you felt like going back to sleep, go get some ice cream or buy a new bag. I'm not saying that. But we know those days when we just really can't do it and we do it anyway. That's discipline. When you really don't feel like heading into the gym, but you go in there and you do a quick workout anyway. When you really don't feel like meeting deadlines, but you do them anyway, that's called discipline. Get up, do it anyway, tackle your tasks, and then reward yourself. I don't care if the way you like to reward yourself is taking a nice hot bath, getting a hotel room and getting away from the family for a while, going to buy a new bag. If it is ice cream or donuts, whatever it is that makes you feel good for doing a job well done, you go do that. Every time you go ahead and hit one of your goals, I want you to reward yourself for being disciplined. Number 3, okay, this is very important to taking over and dominating 2020, is self-care. Okay, because how are you going to do that if you're not taking care of yourself? I think that in the past few years, mental health has been like a really big, it's been a spotlight on it, and so many people are taking better care of themselves and shining awareness on the fact that if you don't take care of yourselves, you can have mental breakdowns, and sometimes you can fall into depressions or feel like you're just not good enough. So no matter what industry you're in, no matter if you're single, married, if you have kids, it is important that you take time to yourself to do the things that you want to do. And I need to tell my husband that, because he is big on taking care of everything else except for himself. And sometimes you have to just, I know it's hard for some of y'all, but you have to take a step back and go do something that you enjoy doing. Okay? All right. Number 2. Talk more about your plans. Okay, you know how everybody's saying don't talk about this and don't talk about your plans and move in silence and all that stuff. I agree with all of that. But when I say talk about your plans, I'm talking about talk about your goals that you have set. Talk about the fact that if you have a business, what you plan to do in that business. If you have a business, what it is that you do in your business. Okay, if you do hair, you need to be talking about the fact that you do hair all day, every day to everybody you come in contact with. If you have a tech business, talk about that stuff. Enlighten people, because it's a lot of people who want to know about that. It's a lot of people who have issues with things like that, and they would just love to get your feedback on some things. Okay, so you never know who's interested in knowing what you have going on. If you're in real estate like myself, you need to be talking about the fact that you buy, sell houses, help investors all day long. You don't have to be doing it to try to get business, but everybody that you come in contact with should know what it is that you do for a living. And number 1, now I think, in my personal opinion, from me to you, this is the most important tip that I can give you, that anybody can give you. The number 1 thing to dominate in 2020 and any new year that you have is to force the habit. Nothing that you decide to do as your New Year's resolution or anything else will ever continue. Nothing will ever continue if you do not force the habit. If you tell yourself in 2020, I'm going to go back to the gym. Okay, that's going to last you for a couple weeks. If the day you just tired, you just like, all right, I'm not going to do it. When you tired, you get up anyway and you go do it. Okay, if you're talking about, if you have a business, if you have something, a way that you need to make money, if you're trying to get a promotion in your 9-to-5 job, but you know you show up late every day, force the habit. Get up earlier. Go into work earlier. You know what I mean? You take long lunches, stop that. Force the habit of going back to work and clocking back in, or sitting down at your desk and making your phone calls, whatever it is that you do. Force every single habit that you know is going to help you to achieve your goal. And that is how I think you guys are going to completely crush your goals in 2020, okay? So I want you guys to reach out to me if you let me know how your 2020 is going a couple months after, once you realize these things really worked and I was able to achieve the goals that I set forth and keep my New Year's resolution. Let me know how it went. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.